So how do you actually scale a service business and do it quickly? It's Jason Wong here, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through the best way that I know how to scale a service business and do it quickly. I've worked with a bunch of service business owners at this point, and some of them are doing up to $15 million a year in annual revenue. Pretty freaking awesome. Being able to work with businesses at different stages of their journey has been fantastic because I get to see the behind the scenes of what actually works, not just in one business, but across the board. I get to see what works over here in this business, take that framework and strategy, plonk it into another business, see how that performs, tweak it, refine it, take that strategy again and try it with a new business. And if you do this over and over again, over a long period of time, you're going to get to the end of some strategies and frameworks that just work like magic. And I've been able to distill and compress all the things that you need to know and cut away everything that you simply don't. So we've boiled it down to 3 key pillars to scaling a service business fast. We'll start with some of the mistakes that you might be making, and then we'll dig into some of the more juicy, practical, tactical stuff that you can actually implement. Let's go. So if you're watching this, you've probably hit a ceiling that you can't seem to break through. You can't seem to scale to the next level as hard as you work, as hard as you try. And I don't know if this is good news or bad news for you, but it's not about how hard you work. It's got nothing to do with your ability to scale to the next level. It's all about whether the things that you're doing are actually moving the needle and whether you're able to lock in your progress. So most people think what's happened is they've hit a plateau, right? But what their progress actually looks like is more of a roller coaster. Now, every service business has a maximum output level, right? It's got a ceiling at every stage. And every time you hit that ceiling, what happens is it kind of sparks a downward spiral that sends you back to square one. And this is what we call survival mode, right? But what you actually want is to get consistent upward growth. Let me show you what that looks like. You get some growth, you lock that in, you get some growth, lock that in, get some growth, lock that in, so on and so forth. And if you can actually achieve this, growth is going to happen very quickly for you. So here's where you're probably going wrong. When you hit that ceiling, wherever that is for your business, the first thing that happens is you get overwhelmed, which is pretty natural. When you get overwhelmed, you get confused. When you get confused, you get inefficient. Then the quality of your service drops, right? And you end up putting all your attention towards putting out fires, clients churn, and you end up back at square one, right? Now what happens is most people simply build back up, hit that ceiling, and repeat this cycle. But in this video, I'm going to show you how to do things a little bit differently. Let's go. So I'm in the office now, and I'm going to walk you through the 3 key pillars that you need to work together to be able to unlock consistent upward growth. So the reality is when you hit a ceiling, the reason why that happens is because you haven't got the infrastructure to actually support growth. So the first thing is infrastructure, and we're going to put it over here. But the real culprit isn't the fact that you don't know that you need the infrastructure. Most people know that. The real culprit is you haven't got the time to actually work on it. Right? So we're going to put time over here. And we're going to start with this because in order to be able to build that infrastructure, we've got to learn how to win back some excess time so we can actually work on it. Taking another look at the downward spiral, the question we want to ask is, how do we stop this process from ever happening? How do we cut the head off the snake? So the first thing that happens when you hit that ceiling is you get overwhelmed, right? That's pretty natural. If we can stop this from ever happening, then we can stop the downward spiral. The key to never getting overwhelmed ever again is learning how to unlock excess time. So we're going to look into that. Being able to unlock excess time is about 2 things. The first is being able to organize, and the second thing is being able to prioritize, right? What does that actually mean? Being able to organize means you've got a way of getting a bird's eye view over your business, as well as a microscopic view of all the little tasks that you need to do. This way you can actually focus on something without forgetting about all the other important areas of the business, right? So we've got bird's eye view and microscopic view. How about prioritize? What does that really mean? Now, most of our new members, when they come to us, their entire system is that they've got a long to-do list with a lot of things to do, and instead of picking the things that are going to move the needle, they tend to work on the urgent tasks. So prioritizing is about choosing the things that actually move the needle as opposed to the things that are simply urgent tasks, right? So tasks that move the needle. So how do you actually organize and prioritize so that you can unlock some excess time? To help our members, we created something called the Core Actions document or the Core Actions template. Let me show you how it works. So when you fill it out, you're going to be able to get a broad overview of the business, as well as all of the little microscopic tasks that you need to do, right? And so filling it out is going to allow you to organize your business and see what's happening, right? You're going to be able to keep track of the entire business all in one document, in one glance, really. And prioritizing is about going down to the right-hand column here, seeing all the tasks that you need to do and not just picking the urgent tasks, but picking the tasks that are actually going to move the needle. So if you do this for a period of weeks or even months, you're going to be able to unlock a lot of excess time, which you can then use to build your infrastructure that supports the growth that you're getting. It's super easy to use. I've left it in the description. Just go ahead and grab it. Now that you've learned how to unlock some excess time, let's figure out how to use that time towards building infrastructure that actually produces results. Okay, so what is infrastructure? Infrastructure is systems and processes. Now, you've probably heard a lot of people throwing those words around, systems and processes, but what does that actually mean? If you don't build your systems and processes the right way, they're not actually going to achieve the goals that you wanted. Let's start with systems. So a system is essentially a machine with a specific goal. The mistake that most people make is that they've got systems, but they don't have specific goals for those systems. So they haven't built them correctly. They haven't optimized them towards producing the results they want. Let's say they've got a marketing machine, but they don't have a specific goal attached to it. And so they don't get the results they're looking for. So what is the machine? The machine is a collection of parts that work together to achieve the specific goal, right? The more specific the goal, the better. So let's make an example. Let's say we want to get 10 leads a day organically, inbound, in 6 months, right? That means we're going to need a content machine, for example. And so once we figured out what our machine's going to be, what our specific goal is going to be, then we need to figure out the collection of parts that make that machine that work together to get the goal achieved. So the first thing you want to do is write down a list of the parts that are necessary for you to achieve that specific goal. So if our goal is 10 organic inbound leads per day through an organic content system, what are the parts that we need to do in order to achieve that goal? So it might be 7 reels a week, maybe 2 LinkedIn posts a week, 1 YouTube video a week, right? And so those are the parts that are going to be necessary for us to achieve our goal. So this is where we get to processes. Processes are the way in which each part of the machine functions. Perfect processes contain 2 parts, potentially 3. I'll walk you through it. So firstly, we need our step-by-step. And then we need our examples for each step. The final part is if you have a team and you want your team to do this process, then you're going to need to give proper training. Right, but I'll put that in brackets because training is a whole nother video for another time. So for step by step, what we want to do is write down every little micro step that's required to do that process. So if we use the previous example, let's say make 7 reels per week, what are the steps that are necessary to actually do that part? Okay, so maybe you need to start with writing 7 hooks, then you need to write 7 bodies, right? Then you need to work out where you're going to film, so film location and setup, let's say, right? And then you need to do the filming, etc., right? So this is all pretty simple. Where people go wrong is they forget to include really good examples for each step of the process. So for the hooks part, we might have a swipe file, for example, right? And for the bodies, we might also have a swipe file. So if we've got a team, we would need to provide training, but that's going to be for another video at another time. For now, if you stick to the step-by-steps and the examples, they'll take you pretty far. If you want to grab these templates, I put them in the description. So you've won back some excess time, you've learned how to build infrastructure that actually supports growth. Now, the final step or the final pillar is knowing how to drive growth on demand. So it's all about growth tactics. There are 5 key tactics in our quick cash hat that you can pull out at any time. And we've tried and tested all of these tactics across our members, and we know every single one of them actually will work. There's a catch though. The catch is that we know every single one of them will work, but it's a question of whether it'll work for your business in your particular situation. So let's just go through them first. So the first growth tactic that you want to know is called the retainer razor. Most business owners think that the easiest thing they can do to drive growth is to go out there and look for more clients. And that's all well and good. But actually the fastest way to get new cash into your business is to leverage your existing clientele. So let me explain how. So rather than trying to get one stranger to pay you $1,000 a month, it's so much easier to get 10 of your loyal clients to just increase their retainer by 10%. So that's $100 for 10 clients, and you're going to get the exact same amount of extra revenue. That's the retainer razor in a nutshell. The second tactic is what we call the 3-step cash injector. It's essentially a referral campaign done right, but there's a lot of nuance to it that we had to discover through trying and testing. Rather than going out there and doing all the marketing yourself, why not use the best spokesperson for your business, your loyal clients? It's 3 steps, 30 days. And what you're going to do is you're going to galvanize your clients, you're going to arm them up with the tools to make it really, really easy, and then you're going to execute the hunt. The third tactic is called the partner profit. You're going to go out and find a partner that has a product or a service that's adjacent to your service, which you can sell to your clients for a cut. The most important thing here is making sure that the partner you choose is actually good at what they do. The fourth thing is the expansion offer. You're going to create something new that your clients have been wanting for a while, and it's going to sit on top of your existing base core service. The final tactic is called the gateway offer. This is going to be a lower priced product for prospects that's going to be able to bring new people into your ecosystem at a much lower cost. You're going to drive all of your marketing towards this gateway offer so you can get new people into your ecosystem. So these are the 5 quick growth strategies that actually work. The question is, which one's going to actually be the best for your business in your particular situation? And so what we've done is we've turned the quick cash hat from being just a concept into an actual tool, right? And you can use it. All you have to do is just answer 6 questions, and it's going to be able to calculate which one of these strategies is going to be the best for your business and your particular situation. I've linked it in the description. So yeah, infrastructure, excess time, and growth tactics. These are the 3 key pillars that you need to unlock consistent upward growth in your service business quickly. So I hope that's been useful. If you've got any questions, just drop them in the comments below. I'm going to try and be as active as possible to answer any questions. This is the start of my YouTube journey. I've been doing business for quite a while, and now I want to share my best tips, tactics, and strategies that I've learned across working with all of our members. It'd be a huge help to me if you subscribe to the channel, engage with the free stuff that we've linked below, maybe even share the video with a friend that you might think this is useful. And yeah, see you soon. Cheers.